morning.
Now on KMTV Action 3 News, downtown parking rate outrage. Who feels singled out by this week's hike and how much more it will cost them? Also wrestled to the ground. The scuffle inside a convenience store, why the manager took matters into his own hands, and the man cops ended up arresting. And a reunion that spans decades. The men who shared memories tonight of going to war with Germany, confronting communism, and taking on tyranny.
KMTV Action 3 News live at 10 starts now.
For the first time this weekend, people will have to plug the meter when parking in downtown Omaha. A new, more expensive policy went into effect this week. It's designed to keep people coming and going rather quickly. Good evening, I'm Craig DeCrowley. Jen is off tonight. The mayor believes it will mean more customers for businesses. But one group tells us the new parking rules will cost them more than just a few extra quarters. New tonight, Andrea Flores has parking panic downtown.
From hourly rate increases to longer hours, we came here to the center of the action to see how parking meter rate changes are affecting those who live, work, and play in the Old Market. Hourly rate hikes and longer hours. Tonight we caught up with people parking in the Old Market, many who are seeing the changes for the first time. And it's not just people here at home, out-of-towners are also feeling the pinch.
I didn't come into town with any change in my pocket. So my wife's off fishing for change. So yeah, it's inconvenient. I probably won't come back tomorrow night.
And some say those who live in the Old Market may have it the worst.
Here I have a friend who lives in Old Market and always has to find parking because her apartment doesn't have that. And now she's going to have to think about where she's going to park her car, and that's going to cost her a lot of money.
While some used to brag about Omaha's easy access,
Part of that Midwestern thing that you like is ease of things like parking and low parking fares. But if they're trying to match up to these big cities, I don't think people will like it a lot.
others say the new system may be setting up people to fail.
If you're out, you have to make sure you get back, to pay the meter, and then, it's like you're at work again instead of enjoying yourself.
But if you're somebody that wants to come walk around, shop, and eat, then you're sort of being penalized. If you're going to come and just get blotto drunk and stay here all evening, it's not going to affect you.
And while it was meant to help with parking problems, Rod Nelson says it may be doing the opposite of what the new changes were intended to do.
If they've got a spot, they're going to keep it longer, so it means that people that are just wanting to run in or grab something aren't going to stop here because it'll be too difficult.
Now, for a complete list of parking meter changes in your area, we have all of that information on our website. Just head to KMTV.com. Reporting from the Old Market, Andrea Flores, KMTV Action 3 News.
And here are the parameters. You now have to plug the meter from 9 in the morning until 9 at night, Monday through Saturday. In the Old Market, those 3-hour meters cost $1.25 an hour, up from 75 cents. New tonight, 2 people injured after a shooting near 31st and Hamilton in Omaha. Police found one victim at the scene, shot in the hand around 7:30 tonight. This was the scene right here. While cops investigated that scene, a walk-in victim showed up at CHI Creighton. He had a gunshot wound to the thigh. Both injuries are not life-threatening. Officers searched the neighborhood, knocking on doors, trying to find the shooter. Just hours earlier, another shooting at 38th and Charles injured 2 victims. Omaha police say the shots came from different directions. Paramedics took one victim to the hospital. The other went in a private car. Both are expected to survive. An Omaha robbery suspect is scheduled to be in court tomorrow morning. 21-year-old Ronald Strickland faces a bunch of charges. It appears he chose the wrong place to pick a fight. Watch, we learned new information tonight. There was another victim outside the convenience store. Investigators say Strickland went into the K&J grocery store at 33rd and California. The manager's wife was working behind the counter. He says Strickland pointed a gun at her head and demanded money. This is what happened next. A scuffle. The manager took action, putting the guy in a bear hug.
They don't care about anybody. The way I look at it, he don't care. He don't care about his life, be honest with you. And you put a gun in front of my wife? Oh, come on, man. Any man is going to do the same thing I did.
And Danny did, if you will. Strickland was able to break free and run out of the store. Police say he then ran up to a woman in a car and pointed a gun at her. She drove off. Cops later arrested him at 31st and Dodge.
Now, your Weather Alert First forecast.
My meteorologist Jim Flowers is here, and the cold is moving in.
Boy, if you've been out this evening, you certainly know it, Craig. Temperatures are beginning to fall. I'll show you the latest readings around the area, especially up to our north and west, up toward Norfolk. Look at Wayne already. 37 degrees, Craig, 43 in Denison, 46 in Atlantic. You can see temperatures basically along the river are a little bit warmer. Freeze warnings in effect from Norfolk over toward Tacoma and just west of Denison and then south toward York. We are under a frost advisory down toward Nebraska City and Clarinda. The key to frost in the metro, we have to be at 36 degrees for about 3 hours to pull off frost. So we'll see if that happens a little bit later on tonight. Coming up, El Nino is exhibiting its influence on California, and it is not in a good way. I'll have that coming up, Craig.
All right, Jim, we'll see you then. Frost and freeze, yikes. It's that time of year. Parents in North Omaha met with community leaders tonight, hoping to give their kids a better school experience. Howard Kennedy Elementary has historically been a low-performing school. Part of the 75 North Revitalization Project makes curriculum changes to jumpstart student achievement. The new principal asked parents for ideas tonight. The 75 North project already includes new housing and a community enrichment center near 30th and Lake. Many of the kids from Kennedy Elementary might otherwise never get a chance to have their teeth cleaned, but tonight there was a big dental donation. Kelly Bartnick was at the school and is here to explain. Kelly.
Craig, today's free dental clinic isn't listed as a 75 North Project initiative, but health and wellness play a big role in healthy communities. The staff know that, so do the dentists who came, who will eventually be in Kennedy and 9 other OPS schools. Students come to Howard Elementary to learn the basics.
Put up really big for me.
Dentists like Megan Boyd come to teach them.
You have really big teeth. Did you know that?
Boyd is a UNMC resident. Her 4-year-old preschool patients at Howard Kennedy are only the beginning.
Which tooth hurts? Is it a loose one? Is it wiggly?
Eventually, 6,000 OPS students in 10 elementary schools will partner with dentists, thanks to a grant that puts a pediatric dental residence in the schools.
Getting to the dentist is an issue. Language barriers often with parents and communicating with the dentist is another piece. So we're always trying to reduce those barriers for families so they can get the access to the dental care that they need.
Jeannie Weiss helped decide which schools need the services most. It's a 5-year, multi-million-dollar grant program. The dentists will perform common procedures like fillings and sealants right in school.
So I am going to use my little mirror here, okay? Do you want to hold this for me while I open everything else up?
In an area or an environment that's comfortable for them, that they're used to, it means they don't have to miss time from school. And so we think that it'll be embraced by the community and will bring a whole new service.
UNMC dentist Jill Wallen says right now more than 30% of Douglas County students have no regular dentist. The program puts the residents in school for 2 hours once a week.
Kids that are healthy are more likely to be engaged and can maximize their learning potential while in the classroom.
And they're more likely to smile. This guarantees they'll look good doing it.
You're okay. Smile for me. Thank you. Good job, sweetie.
Good job indeed. The grant also provides money to put residents who work in rural community clinics across Nebraska. Howard Kennedy is just one OPS school. There's a list of others chosen from the program on your screen. Central Park Elementary, Fontenelle, King, Lothrop, Minnelusa, Mount View, Skinner, Rose Hill. There are also 2 others that have not yet been named. Now, the program should take effect within the next 6 to 12 months. In the studio tonight, Kelly Bartnick, Action 3 News.
You're right. That is a great program. Whoever thought flossing would be fun? Tonight, Council Bluffs police are still on the hunt for a man who tried to ram an officer with his truck. Investigators found the pickup, but they believe this guy right here, 27-year-old Adam Thomas, stole 2 other cars while on the run today. A Council Bluffs police officer shot at Thomas after he escaped from a cop car yesterday afternoon. Police had arrested him for fraud at the Baumgar store on East Canesville. More than 16 million Americans fought for our country during World War II. Tonight, only a fraction are still alive. In Omaha, a group of them came together for a reunion and to share their experiences. New tonight, reporter Nick Starling has their very interesting stories.
With a movie camera. And We've taken all.
This room is packed full of veterans reliving their time serving our country over 7 decades ago.
Went down to Athens, Greece, when the Greeks were about to get taken over by the communists.
I am one of the few ground crew that got a medal. My flight crew, coming back from mission one time, had to crash land at another base about 25 miles from our base.
91-year-old veteran Jack Root voluntarily joined the 8th Army Air Force in 1942. He was a tail gunner in a B-17 in England.
I chose the Air Force because I liked airplanes, and if you volunteered, you could pick your branch. Otherwise, you may end up in the infantry or field artillery, whatever, and I didn't like the idea of sleeping on the ground in the mud.
Robert Hall was a crew chief of the 489 Bomb Group.
No, the only time I ever sweated anything out is if we had bomb alert.
Spending this precious time together is something these veterans are not taking for granted.
It's great to have the camaraderie with the other vets.
But looking around the room, the men are seeing fewer and fewer of their comrades showing up.
Nothing like it used to be. Our reunions, we used to have a couple thousand people, and they were all 8th Air Force veterans. Now, what, 300, I think, is registered here? Not a handful of them are veterans anymore.
Reunion organizer Deborah Kajawa says attendance at these reunions is slowly dwindling because these veterans are passing away.
These gentlemen in their youngest are in their late 80s to early to mid 90s. A couple are pushing 100s.
But even those who come to these reunions year after year get something new out of it.
You learn from each other even now.
Now the organization putting this on says they try to have these reunions in the center of the country so it's not as hard for these World War II veterans to make the trip. And Craig, next year it's in St. Louis.
Where was it tonight? Doubletree downtown.
Doubletree Hotel downtown, yeah.
Some incredible stories, and
Absolutely.
I looked it up, just like the organizers said, we're losing them every day. I think 492 on average dying per day.
Amazing.
It's eye-popping, so good to get their message out tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, Nick.
Thank you.
Firefighters continue to struggle against a raging wildfire in central Texas. How many homes the flames have destroyed, and the action the governor is now taking. And torrential rains triggered flash flooding, as well as mudslides in Southern California. Tonight, the number of drivers stranded due to lots of water and gunk that you see there.
And coming up in weather, temperatures are falling rapidly. I'll have the latest readings coming up after the break, and we'll take a look at exactly how long this cold air will be sticking around. That's up.
It's Ford's SUV Sign and Go event. Take on any adventure in the Ford Explorer with a terrain management system and get the bigger picture in a Ford Edge with a front 180-degree camera. Just sign and go with 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first month's payment hassle-free. Ford is making it easier for you to be unstoppable. Now get a Ford Explorer with 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first month's payment during Ford's SUV Sign and Go event. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Nobody gives you building options like Tough Shed. Get the very best in sheds, garages, studios, recreational buildings, and our brand new line of cabin shells. Customized how you want it, delivered when you want it, installed where you want it. Tough Shed makes it easy. For the very best in backyard buildings, there's really only one option, Tough Shed. Shop our Factory Direct location in Omaha. Call us at 1-800-BUY-TOUGH and visit us online at toughshed.com.
La Casa. In Italian, it means the house. And since 1953, it's been Omaha's house for great Neapolitan-style pizza. Today, La Casa has more ways to get that award-winning taste you love. Dine in, carry out, order online, even ship pizza to friends and family nationwide. And look for the Mobile Casa, our La Casa pizza truck serving the Omaha area. There's a lot coming from this house, La Casa Pizzeria. Like the La Casa Pizza truck on Facebook to see where we'll be next.
Which truck brand do you think offers best-in-class HD towing, best V8 horsepower, and has Motor Trend's 2015 Truck of the Year? Ram.
Chevy.
What do you think?
A Ford.
Oh.
Here's the answer. That's the Chevy Silverado HD, the Chevy Silverado, and the Chevy Colorado.
Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Now qualified buyers get 0% financing for 60 months. Plus find your bonus tag and get $4,000 cash allowance on select Silverado 1500 crew cabs in stock. See your local Chevy dealer today.
This month, just sign and go at Ashley Ford with no money down and zero do-it signing on Escape, Edge, Explorer, and F-150. Drive a 2016 Escape for just $259 a month, or the all-new F-150 for only $299 per month. Just sign and go at Omaha's Ford leader, Ashley Ford, or ashleyford.com.
New tonight on KMTV, heavy rain caused flash flooding and mudslides north of Los Angeles this afternoon. Look at that mud creeping along. That is menacing. And take a look at this. You can see a wall of water and mud, a dry river channel in the Angeles National Forest, cars, vehicles submerged. Unbelievable. A section of I-5 about 40 miles north of downtown Los Angeles is closed tonight. Simply too much water, too fast. Which leads to this. Texas Governor Greg Abbott declared a state of disaster because of a wildfire east of Austin. They could use the water. The fire has burned more than 6 square miles. Look at all the smoke. Flames have burned at least 25 homes. People living in 400 other houses have evacuated. The disaster declaration makes it possible to add manpower and equipment to help communities ravaged by that inferno. All right, meteorologist Jim Flowers is here. We touched on it in the earlier part of the newscast. The cold air that's moving in.
Right.
That's going to be a concern this weekend, huh?
At least tonight and again for tomorrow night. In fact, some folks are getting awfully close to the 30s right now, Craig. We'll start with the threat tracker as we head through the next several days. This is in terms of sensible weather, showers or thunder showers. That is not an issue for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. However, the cold going into the weekend is, and we could have a repeat performance for tomorrow night. If you missed the top of the broadcast, a freeze warning, Norfolk, Columbus, York, points west, temperatures there at or below 32. Frost advisory, Fremont, Omaha, into western, southwest Iowa, far southeast Nebraska. The key tonight, in order to have frost this time of the year, you have to be at 36 degrees for 3 hours. I don't know if we're going to quite do that, so it wouldn't be surprising that maybe the frost is kind of confined to some of those low-lying areas. But temperatures have been falling. Look at Lincoln. They're already at 43. Beatrice is at 42. You got a little better chance for some frost there. Heading out to the west, 45 in Norfolk, 38 already in Wayne. And then basically along the river, and there's going to be some influence of this in places like Epley and down toward Plattsmouth, temperatures are in the upper 40s. Water temperatures in the river now running in the 60s, so any kind of a bit of a breeze off of that will likely produce some warmer readings, and then temperatures drop off in Red Oak and then also out around Denison. If we take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood right now, it's probably getting cold out. Temperatures are in the 40s to near 50. A little bit colder up toward Prairie View, north side of Douglas County, 46, 49 in Elkhorn. But you can see a little bit closer to the river, Hanscom Park at 52, Swanson at 53, although Carter Lake currently stands at 47 degrees. Outdoors right now at Epley, 48. The dew point stands at 33. Winds have diminished. Radar giving us a clean sweep. Clouds have pushed off to the south. We have clear skies along the I-80 corridor. Temperatures across the state. Look at Broken Bow already at 38. Chadron has 39. And if we compare those to where they were 24 hours ago, that cold air is sliding east. Norfolk already 13 degrees colder than where they were yesterday at this point in time. For the rest of the night, temperatures continue to drop. Again, down into the 30s. The question is, how long will we be at 36, 37 degrees later on tonight? Tomorrow, sunshine, temperatures by 1 o'clock in the mid-50s, and we should top out in the afternoon around 60 and then fall back as we head toward later in the afternoon. Clear skies tonight, the low 35 degrees, again a frost advisory. Partly cloudy tomorrow, temperatures right around 60, winds light and out of the northwest. Over the next 3 days, another round of cold tomorrow night, 35, and then over the weekend, things do begin to moderate. Temperatures as we head into the weekend and early next week, around 80 degrees. Let's take a look at tonight's weather alert, kid. This is Margot. She's got her sweater on. It's going to be chilly for the kids at the bus stop, 35 degrees. Craig?
All right, Jim. Furnace tune-up time is here. We'll talk about passing the collection plate, the generous tip a church congregation gave a pizza delivery driver, and why it came in the nick of time. Next.
sleep. Remember when it welcomed you like a friend? Then it became more elusive. But why? When you have insomnia, it may affect the wake neurotransmitters in your brain, disrupting your wake and sleep messages. Belsomra is a prescription medicine for adults who have trouble falling or staying asleep. Belsomra is thought to help turn down wake messages by targeting and inhibiting the action of orexin, a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in sending wake messages. Only Belsomra works this way.
Do not take Belsomra if you have narcolepsy. When taking Belsomra, don't drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Belsomra should not be taken together with alcohol. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, confusion, agitation, or hallucinations. The temporary inability to move while falling asleep or waking up and temporary leg weakness have also been reported. In depressed patients, worsening depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Side effects include next-day drowsiness.
Sleep. Ask your doctor about Belsomra.
36 hours ago, you were Jeff and Susan. Now, you're Mom and Dad. But you've got this. You read the baby manuals, bought yourself a safe SUV. You're totally ready for this, right?
Now lease the 2016 Mazda CX-5 Sport for $229 a month for 33 months.
Love this story. A congregation in Ohio decided to practice what they preach, carrying out good deeds. They took an offering to tip a Domino's pizza delivery woman.
From our 3 services combined, we collected this much money. This is $1,000.
Look at that reaction. A $1,000 tip. Natasha has a 2-year-old son. The day she delivered to Sycamore Creek Church, the landlord left an eviction notice on her door. Wow, what timing. A dog that refused to leave her friend behind received a high honor from the governor in Washington today. You're about to see Tilly. She was standing guard for her friend Phoebe, who got stuck in a cistern right there. Police there posted the missing dog's photos on social media. Volunteers were out looking for the pooch. Finally, a couple remembered seeing Tilly on their property. That's Tilly right there. Searchers called her name and she barked back. Then she led them to rescue her friend. You follow me? There's the governor. That guy's name is Jay Inslee. He presented Tilly with the Washingtonian of the Day Award for her bravery and loyalty. Wow. Quite a story. Doggy best friends. The Huskers head into Saturday's game against the Gophers with more players banged up who won't be in the lineup, and what Coach Riley says Big Red has to do to get back in the win column.